Welcome back to Point Blank, and with us in the studio is Elvira,
Swee Ching and Sandra.
Yes,
we have been chatting about how retailers are fighting back during this financial crisis. But before we continue talking about this, Razor TV has checked out what some of the malls and shopping centres are doing to woo customers this Christmas season, which is usually like the hot shopping period, we all know. So check it out.
Economists may be predicting gloom and doom, but shopping centres, at least, are determined to bring on the cheer. Spokesmen of shopping centres say that the grim economic forecast will not affect their advertising and promotions budget drastically. Some, such as VivoCity, are even increasing that budget to woo shoppers amid the downturn. VivoCity, for instance, is increasing their advertising and promotions budget by 10% in the coming year. To celebrate their upcoming 2-year anniversary, they've commissioned a musical by Dick Clee, a coffee table book, and a fireworks display by famous pyrotechnics choreographer Ferry.
Primarily, I think for Singaporeans, shopping is really so much part of their lifestyle. So whenever they have time, they window shop. And where there are good offers, they are also very keen to buy. So I look at it now where we expect the economic situation to so-called deteriorate. I believe if all Singaporeans who can still afford will still continue to spend, then we can generate that kind of retail activity such that the dollar goes round. And then we won't be so-called get into a technical kind of recession.
But do you think that the impact of the recession will eventually be felt by VivoCity?
I would say it's still early to tell at this point in time. So that will again depend on the kind of bonuses that Singaporeans will get again this year end, and how the government will come in to assist the whole retail environment. But primarily, as I mentioned earlier, as long as we keep our dollars within here, and spend more time spending our money in Singapore, the chance of us getting into a recession will be, I would say, more remote.
Economists are predicting that the recession will last 2 to 3 years. Surely, I mean, don't you think that will have some sort of impact, at least 6 months from now or a year from now, on the retail sector?
Of course, we do not react when it comes on. We are actually quite prepared for the coming months. We do have a good reserve, and we also set aside budget in terms of like promotions, in terms of rewarding shoppers to get the activity and buying going on within VivoCity. For us at VivoCity, we believe in spending at the right time. We believe in spending for the right things. So cutting down expenses, of course, I would say there is unnecessary expenditure, which is going to be rare. Okay, we will cut down. I would rather say that we will want to stretch the advertising dollars.
As far as you're concerned, the impact has not been felt yet on your side, and there's no belt tightening in terms of advertising and promotion, right?
Yes, you're right.
Meanwhile, Centrepoint is also staging musicals and fashion shows to lure the crowds. Although General Manager Wendy Loh could not comment on the situation next year, this year at least looks bright and cheery.
Also, specially brought in this year, we've got the Mr. Man and Little Mrs. show. So there are live stage performances that will be put up here in Centrepoint, as well as the rest of the malls within the Fraser Centrepoint Malls group. This year we're going to be introducing something different. We are not going to be giving the traditional Christmas wraps, but we are introducing a cloth wrap, just like what the Japanese use.
Do you think that the economic downturn might affect the spending habits of shoppers at Centrepoint?
Well, Christmas is a spirit of giving. We think people will still buy gifts, although, they may cut down on buying bigger items, but we believe that, shoppers will still buy. Perhaps a bit more discerning this year.
What about in the coming year? Do you expect that the advertising and promotion budgets might have to be reduced, or...?
Well, right now we are looking at innovative ways and more creative ways of stretching the dollar.
On the ground level, shops are aggressively offering discounts and privileges. And by the looks of it, they're working.
Well, for say about recession, actually we don't we don't feel it because why our price also not that high because now Christmas is coming, so this is the time to buy gift, right? So our company try to give more promotions like discounts and privilege.
Very interesting. I think it's always good when you're part of a mall. Imagine if you guys are, a standalone shop, like in the middle of some street, and then if even you have 90% promotion, like people may not know about it. So I mean, like you guys are in Vivo City. What has been done?
Plaza Singapore.
Plaza Sing.
Singapore. Yeah.
What goes in comes out last time. Okay, so Plaza Sing, what has been done recently?
I must say Plaza Sing's management has been very active in terms of their advertising and promotions activities. There's always something in the atrium to bring the people in, and they always do a lot of ties-ups with like movie launches, and then they have sales like by some key tenants, and then they have road shows by some very prominent brands. And the shopper traffic there is fantastic. In fact,
how many customers do you get a day on average? A million?
No.
Sandra was going like, whoa. She's gonna get a number that's so big his simple mind can't comprehend it. No, okay, sorry. No, yeah, so okay.
Actually, they actually just gave us the figures, right? On a monthly basis, we were talking about.
No, I know. I just touched base with somebody from Plaza Sing, and they have had a 20% increase in the shopper traffic within the same period.
Oh, when was this? Just recently?
Just
recently.
recently.
Yeah, just
Oh,
recently.
okay.
Compared this time of the year to last year. I think in the papers was reported that we had the second highest level of shopper traffic in the whole of Singapore in terms of malls.
Yeah.
So it helps that we're just right on top of the Dhoby Ghat MRT interchange.
Yeah.
So rain or shine, in fact, when it rains,
Even
it's
better.
even better.
Everybody will be twiddling their thumbs. Oh, if only I could manufacture memories.
Location is very important for any retailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Plaza Sing, and plus, like, do you guys plan on having like further discounts on your stuff?
We thought about this, and we don't really. We have to plan for the long term. Discounts are not the solution. So we try to do more value-added things for our customers, because you're sending out the wrong signals to your customers if you keep slashing your prices. So when times are good, you mean you've actually been making that much of me, you know?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So do you think it's going to be, you have to show, I mean, like, you have to not slash and then just have value add instead? That would be better?
Well, that would be our first strategy. But of course, if things become horrific, and we have to do something to stay alive, if it means we have to slash prices just to cover costs, then we might have to. But we're hoping that we won't get to that stage. We're doing all that we can. So we're not going to stinge, like the malls were saying that they're not going to stinge on advertising and everything. And I think that's a good move, because in times like these, you don't retreat. You become more proactive and you do more to draw people in, because this is not the time to twiddle or time to sit back and just hope things will become better.
Yeah, and it's not that we are not going to offer like good prices or anything like that, but like our loyal customers, they will always get really good prices from us, and we have a lot of specials for them.
Yes. We will give savings to people who have continuously, supported the store, and not just give out discounts left, right, center to even walk-ins who may have only come to purchase one item from you in a single year. So, which is why we always say the focus is on maintaining long-term relationships with
brand loyalty as well.
Yes, that's what would keep any retailer afloat, I think. It's brand loyalty.
Okay. Anyway, we have some new web comments, so maybe we can take a look. We have a question from Late 101. He or she says, I think the reality hasn't totally hit home yet, though. So what if things get worse? What do you expect, and how will you prepare your business for it?
I think they have answered that. They said they already expect, and I'm sure that they have anecdotes of like their fellow retailers who have sat back and twiddled their thumbs and dwindled and existed to nothing. But okay, Our next comment. I'm gonna watch my spending for frivolous items, but my hobbies keep me sane. Recession or not, I'm going to cut down my not going to cut down my hobby spending much. I'm sure your business will feel a dip in consumers, but those die-hard lovebirds and romantics won't stop shopping at your store. I've also noticed that people still spend on romance-related things, so scrapping which preserves memories will always be relevant. Anyone heard of recession hurting romance?
Well put.
Yeah. I think this might be a scrapper.
You sound like a scrapper Singapore.
I think it's a very romance thing. Because I mean, when you have no money, basically you stay home, and then I guess the other part of we should populate. and sort of fight the aging population thing, so romance related, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, this is not an extremely expensive hobby to have as compared to, no hard feelings, deep sea fishing, and, it's not half as expensive as that. One reel's like thousands of dollars, I mean, this is paper. It's just how much you want to, continue to invest in your hobby. So, people might forgo big ticket items like branded handbags and shoes and, maybe perhaps jewelry, but they still need an outlet to de-stress, and I think scrapbooking affords them this at a really affordable prices.
And plus, it's pretty long-lasting, so
it
you can
is.
never really... It's not like I don't know. Something bad. Okay. I was going to say something bad, but I was like, no, maybe not. Okay, while I collect myself, we'll be right back after these messages.